Hey guys and gals. Check it out. What's going on? It's doing more testing. Although I'm using a different camera now. I like the camera that I'm using now probably a little better just from its positioning. But the other camera is nicer. Pulse chain is doing well. Well, at least the Atrofa ecosystem, just from a glance. In fact, I'll put it up here in a moment once I am done looking at what I'm doing. Okay. Huh. I'll show you now. So what you're looking at here is the deck screener. And you see Teddy's at the top. These are the coins I like to kind of keep an eye on. It gives me a consistent view of what's happening, how much money is flowing in, and it's actually increasing right now, which is kind of cool, right? We've got money inflows that are increasing, so that's good for volume. Everything here looks like it's very healthy and in the green, which is always nice. TSFI is just a complete beast. This is the exact same way. I remember when this coin was back here in this stage, and people were selling it like it had no value. They really didn't catch what was going on, you know, starting from like nowhere here, right? But without any time at all, like it immediately jumped into these ranges here of, 5 cents, 18 cents, this kind of thing. This is a 4-hour chart, by the way. And let's open this up a little bit. And when you're, yeah, you can see that. Cool. When you look at some of these different moves here, it was trading basically anywhere from on the high 54 cents to the low of 5 cents. Like because each one of these here are 4-hour ranges right here. And I remember when it was trading in this range, like 5 cents, and we were looking at it like, if you take it back to this point and you open it up more, you could see like the various ranges that this coin had gone through. It went to 14 cents, shot back down. Like I was looking at it from this point right here, from its development. I mean, by the time it got to this 4-hour candle, it had done $130,000 in that 4-hour period. Like up until then, it was just, a relatively modest progress and largely ignored by people. A lot of selling, people that came in with, they get a double and get out again, so it would like drop again. But like there it went to 14 cents and then dropped back down to 7 cents. And then it had its first candle here. It went to 27 cents. And it still did this stuff where it was, kind of oscillating and moving around. And then it had its first candle that kind of brought it out of this range here and into like the 14. Did I say 14 cents? I meant 1 penny down here. I'm sure you followed me. That was 1 penny and a half, actually. So it was like much less in this area. But then it had its first candle here. And in this range, you almost have to open it up to appreciate what's going on. Let's close that up a bit. Maybe we should look at the 1 hour chart. So really miss a lot on that chart sometimes. Bring it up. There we go. So we'll move it over here now. It's been quite the time on this, actually. So it's been around for a while. Okay. Yeah, so here's the range. Move back more. That's when it jumped up more. All right, so here is where it was trading. It made its first move up, right? And, it was trading anywhere between 12 cents here and 57 cents. And that's a big swing, just back and forth. It didn't have a whole lot of, volume at that point. Even now its market cap, it's at $4.45. Its volume is trading at 172,000 on this pair, the Atrofa pair. And if that's got a market cap of 4.9 million, imagine what the market cap was here when it was at 21 cents, right? So it was much less, probably similar to like what we see in our current coin now, SRF. It's a pretty good comparison, because if you look at it here, then it jumps up to 76 cents and it looks like, wow, whoa, what happened? Like I remember that euphoria. But then those who made profit wanted to sell, and so they sold, and it knocked it down to 34 cents. There was some modest gains and back and forth, but largely it was ignored because it had this initial volume here. And then the Atrofa bot tends to keep the coin moving in some direction at all times. And here you see it was starting to go down again. A lot of people were writing it off. They thought, oh, well, I guess that was nice, back down to 11 cents. And man, here it goes. Again, not at the time, 11 cents to 26 cents. Sure, that's a 150% increase. But volume still didn't really react too much. It was just largely ignored after that point, like from the beginning up until this point where it took off. Like it was just largely ignored. The Atrofa bot was doing its thing. The occasional sellers would come in and drop and dump it. But then it got to a point here, had a little rise, got to 43 cents, came back. And then I'll never forget, I came back and I was like, I checked on this coin, right? And I was trading in it. So I happened to not be on it when I had 4,000 of these when, in this range, I was holding around 4,000. And then it shot up. And this candle took it all the way to $5 almost. Like $4.50. Like it's literally trading at that range right now, about $4.52. And that was missed. Because trading is awful. It's just not your friend. If you believe in a coin, buy it, keep your bag, and just, let other people doubt it. Like, those are the people that can feel the burn when this happens, right? So, the rest is history. It continued to make these moves. But if you pull back on this, we're going to pull back and just kind of look at its trajectory. And look at today. Here's another one, went from $2 down here and it's sitting at $4.54. And so it's going to continue trading in that range, and then eventually it's going to bust out of that range onto the next range. That's what it's all about. A lot of sellers and buyers are getting in and out, and the coin is being traded, and paper hands are getting out, and that's the process. And so it's getting ready to move to its next level. This might be it. Maybe this is the time when it's just going to keep going up, right? And but it's really good action. And I think this chart is indicative of what we'll see on SRF. And I wouldn't limit it to this chart either. Teddy actually is more in line to what I'm thinking of for SRF, because Teddy has really, had a lot of the same moves. I could take you back and show you the beginnings of Teddy as well. So now let's just go ahead and pull in on this. Let's take it back to the 4-hour. And this, mind you, is on the Atrofa pair, so it doesn't include anything on the WPLS. But let's go ahead and see how much total trading we've had on this. All right, right there. That represents $9.23 million in trading on this one pair. Imagine where SRF is going to be when it gets up to $9.2 million in trading on the Atrofa pair. Let's take a look at SRF real quick. Oh, wow, it's jumping up quick on that last drop because it went down to 6 and now it's coming back up again. So, and you could see it's just same thing. It's like pushing weak hands out, and then it's going to do its jump. And it did a similar jump not too long ago. So this isn't really waiting too long before it goes, if you guys are interested in being on this, right? Of course, do your own research. Namely, take responsibility for your actions, right? Like if you want any gains in any kind of system, like you got to consider that. All right, so take a look at this. This has been around for less time, although it's traded. It's only in at this point on the Atrofa pair from the beginning. Let's see, when is this? September 19th. Yeah, from the beginning. 469,000. So this journey is still in the beginning yet. We're still going to see those huge candles come in later on, should it follow the journey of its sister coin, right? Of its family of coins, really. Let's pull back here. And look at that first candle, too. I mean, that was outrageous, right? And so that gives you an idea of really how this thing is going to move. And then there's a lot of interesting dynamics about this coin. This has 27 million in its total coin count, and that's its supply. And $27 million also happens to be how much the community donated to the SENS Research Foundation back in, a couple years ago during the sacrifice for Pulse and PulseX. Quite interesting. Fascinating. Just the things that SENS is about is very fascinating. I think this coin has so much promise, and all of these coins do. Let's get back to our list. So this is where we're at, right? And it oscillates, but the main thing you want to look at is the 1-hour chart. Where are we trending in the 1 hour? Where are we trending in the 6 hour? And then where are we trending in the 24 hour? And, they all say various things. Keep in mind, SRF had just come off a 500% move yesterday. So it's, got to oscillate back a little bit, but then it's going to move again. And I don't think it's going to take too long before it does move. It doesn't tell you when. You don't get to know when. All you get to do is either be in it or not be in it or trade it. But I'll tell you what, man, what a reckless game that is. That cost me a number of times on these coins. So let's go to, and it costs a lot of people, right? So you learn through the process. Teddy. So Teddy's on its way up. And if you look at the trend on Teddy, what you got to do is pull back on all these coins, right? This is the day chart here. I mean, Teddy's just been like straight up. And that's the kind of momentum these coins really get. I mean, it's that Atrofa bot and the way it's set up. It's like you really have to listen to the game theory behind the Atrofa bot and all the investigative work that's going on in the pulse chain community. There's a lot that these guys are uncovering. There's a lot that I have uncovered. And then also part of it is you can't wait too long, right? If you want to be a part of these parabolic moves. If you wait too long, you want to know this, you want to know that, you want to know the other. And I get that. But what happens is you can be left behind because you're too busy researching instead of getting in. That's why they call that, I aped in, but now I'm checking in on it, I'm in that coin. I'm just looking up now, though. And I get it. You don't want to be left behind. So let's see how much money Teddy has run through it on the Atrofa pair. 16.7 million on the Atrofa pair. Remember, it's got a lot more on the WPLS. Altogether, I know Teddy because I've done the math on it already. It's like over $45 million have ran through it in this last month and a half, which is really good for Pulse Chain in its current levels. That's up there near, Pulse and PulseX right now. All of that's going to change later on too, even. I mean, this chain's just been growing. So all of that's very promising. And yeah, there's no doubt in my mind looking at this trajectory on Bear that even if it has a pullback, it can pull all the way back to basically this 4 right here. It hasn't done it. It hasn't really even gotten near that, really. But it could pull back to that and still be considered safe. People won't say that at the time, but if it happened, because these are retracement zones. And it has not retraced this zone yet. You see. And yet, if it did, that would be fine. It could do that and still take off. The problem is, it could just take off now. And then you're left behind, right? So it's important to be in them. Traders don't make out. Traders lose. And they lose in the stock market, but in crypto, gosh, they lose even more because in the stock market, at least, there's only so much the stock market's going to move. But in crypto, it's a lot different because there actually is a lot less corruption in crypto than there is on the stock market. The stock market has so many people with their hands and their tentacles in every little financial instrument that has to pay them. There's so many people living off of those salaries that there's not really enough move to move like crypto does. Crypto is just people, you and I, and people just like us in our own financial instrument. Oh, look at this. We're getting some bad coverage here now. This, I'm going to have to pull back the system a bit and work on it more. That's unfortunate. I don't know why. I mean, I do. It's doing it. Let's see if I could do something here live in the program. I mean, that's the main thing I'm here. I'm here to make the program better. So, yeah. It's a challenge getting everything to work right. Let's see what I have my output set on the stream. Video. Let's see something here. I wonder if the audio here is causing a problem. Could be a number of so many things when you do this. You got to check every little thing. And I've done media before, so I'm familiar with all the little nuances. After this, I'm going to bed soon. It's pretty late where I'm at. It's 3 a.m. Life is a dream, baby. And we're all in it together. You know, the stream looks good, though. Like, from what I'm looking at, I think it might have gotten better in this last little bit. I did change something. I turned on another piece of the program that may make things better. And right now it seems like it is working. Okay, so let's see this. There we go. This should be making sound. Let's make sure I got everything right here. So click done on that. Yeah. Okay. Let's take it to... Yeah, all these look pretty good. I remember the first one I started streaming on was Twitch. Alright, let's see if audio's... Yeah, I think... Alright, let's see if audio's... Okay, it's good. A little bit fuzzy. Not too bad. I want to... yeah, see, it's a little bit choppy. I could probably pull back on the bitrate a little bit more. Alright, I'm going to have to try that then. I don't know if I'm coming back on again tonight, though. Maybe I'll just come right back on now. Just step off and come right back on and check it again. Which, I have Starlink, you know, the internet should be a little bit better. All right, I'll be back.